fiesta se formó. La música con variedad, tocamos desde salsa hasta reggaetón. Un vacilón, este es el show de la mañana en esta pon. Son un bombón, tírame heavy, Elison. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show.
Este es el show de la mañana con Elio,
Esther y Mafer. Este es el show de la mañana, el show.
Y ya estamos de vuelta.
We're back, yes.
Ya regresamos, señoras y señores, al show de la mañana aquí en Tu Fiesta Radio, celebrando nuestra música. Y este servidor, Elio Piedra.
Y Mafer.
Somos Tu Fiesta Radio. Ahí está. Y vamos a estar hablando un poquito de inglés, de español, de portugués, cantonés. No. Just kidding. We're going to be speaking English and Spanish. What we know, what we love to do. Porque tenemos un invitado muy, muy especial. Señoras y señores, this week is extremely special. Why? Because it is Safe Place Week. The entire week. We actually mentioned that on Monday. Okay, and we got a sign for you. Yeah. All right. You can put it right here, this camera right there. Yeah. Perfect. There we go. Safe place. For those that you
guys
are...
also have stickers, right, of this. I have been in so many places.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So for those that you are right now, not only on the radio in your car, but also on our streaming on Facebook, on our YouTube channel, you're going to be enjoying this conversation very, very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back to our morning show the CEO of this wonderful, wonderful organization that I am a proud board member. And he's not only an incredible lawyer, he's an incredible leader, but he's an incredible neighbor and human being. And you are Phil Clever, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome.
Hola. But wait, I have to be like you because you always wear a hat.
You know?
Yes.
So I brought a hat.
Oh my
Doesn't
goodness.
do it in the headphones.
Oh my goodness. So Phil, how you doing? ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien.
Okay.
You're doing great. You're doing
Spanish
great.
good pronunciation.
Oh my goodness, Phil, it is an honor having you here with us because again, it is Safe Place Week. We want to talk about Safe Place Week, the new shelter. Also, there is a very, very important fundraising event tomorrow happening. We want to learn what is the dynamic, how we raising money for CDS, and what is that money be used for, regarding the organization. Let's talk about Safe Place Week first.
Okay. Well, one of the programs that CDS does through our 11 counties, but certainly in this part of the state, is we are the coordinators of all the Safe Place sites. That's what the sign, that's how you know you're at one. And what a safe place is, if a child feels they're in danger or in any trouble, they can just walk into a place that has that sign. And what happens is the folks there just make the youth comfortable. They call us, and we come get them and bring them back to our place, get them settled. And if they're appropriate for our program, we help them. And if they're not, we are not a no closed door agency, meaning we're open door. If we can't help someone, we'll find them the right place. But they can start with us, and they can start through Safe Place. That's one of the ways that people get to us.
Could a child turn themselves to the safe place, or could a parent as well be like, I need help with this kid, someone help me?
Safe place wouldn't be really for the parents to drop them off, but let's say a kid, the worst case, they feel they're being followed by somebody and they don't know what to do, they can walk into there. But also if they feel uncomfortable at home or school or just in themselves,
depressed,
they can walk in as well.
So it could be any type of situation.
So, yo to translate that a little bit, because esto es súper importante, very important, es que safe place o lugar a salvo, pudiéramos decir, se celebra la semana entera de esto que se llama lugar a salvo, o sea, la semana de los lugares a salvo. Y bueno, como Mafra estaba comentando, Phil, estamos viendo estos signs all over town. Like, for example, across the street, you see the fire department.
They have one. That's true.
Por ejemplo,
oficinas pequeñas, yo lo he visto en small office as well, just by the window they have the sticker.
The little thing. Y eso lo que significa es que si, por ejemplo, tienes este tipo de situaciones, ¿verdad? Un adolescente, un niño de una edad X, o un padre, o alguien necesita ayuda de esta manera, las cuales vamos ahora a expandir con Phil, puedes ir a ese lugar, y eso es un lugar a salvo, un safe place, the one that you can actually they can actually get you in touch with CDS immediately, and that way you can get help. And you know what I love, what you just mentioned, Phil, like if you, let's say you guys don't have the tools or resources to help that person, that family, that kid, you are gonna connect them with someone, all right? A space for girls, family promise, someone, because we have 100 and almost 50 nonprofits around Alachua County, and you guys collaborate with all of them and all of our leaders, so that's a wonderful thing.
And that each one of them have their own expertise, right? So it will be for the benefit of the own child and the organization to receive the right guidance.
We partner with all of them that deal with children and families. Here's one that's interesting that happens is, we got a program called Stop Now and Plan. But SNAP is also the food stamp program, which we don't run, but we get calls all the time for people checking into SNAP. So we can't help them, but we get them to the right place. Another place that also has is a safe place are the RTS buses.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's good.
Okay, and how does it work? Because that's very interesting. So the driver knows that if a kid in need of help gets inside the bus, they actually have to help them, like reaching out to you guys or something like that.
I would guess they just put them in a safe seat where they can observe, and they probably call their dispatch and take it from there.
Oh, okay. That's good to know, because probably the audience no saben que los buses de la ciudad también están considerados como lugares a salvo, safe place, como parte de la ciudad.
And Phil, with all the years of your experience and working with CDF and, moving forward the mission and the vision of the organization, I'll say, what would you say is one of the biggest impacts that you guys have created, and why the work is still relevant and very accurate nowadays?
What we try to do is restore families and restore communities and restore a comfortable place for children and youth in them. So if a child is truant or is defiant, disobeys the rules of home or school, we try to work with them to adjust their behavior. That's what we do, behavior management. And so we try to educate them in proper ways to behave and then reconcile the children. So they go from children who, people are paying attention to because they need help, to ultimately becoming part of the community, part of the workforce, parents themselves. We don't have bad kids. We are a delinquency, substance abuse, violence prevention program. We do our job. They never end up in Now, we are a division. Well, we are funded in part by the State Department of Juvenile Justice, among other places, but we're not on the part where the kids are in what are called commitment programs, the detention center or the punitive center. That's not us. They never get, if we do it right, they never get that far.
Have you seen cases, especially with your background as a lawyer, where, a kid or a family have been restored and you go ahead and you think inside kind of like, wow, this person could have ended up, in a juvenile jail or something like that, different program, but instead it got restored through the programs that you guys offer?
You all took a tour of our new shelter the other day, and they talked to Mr. Lee, who works there. And he was telling stories about youth who would call back just to say hello. They were done with the program.
That's good.
They were done with the 35 days, but they wanted to just check in because they were comfortable. My favorite story happened recently. It didn't happen in Gainesville. We have offices in Lake City and Palatka, but I was at a United Way of Swanee Valley
Okay.
event. And a woman, an adult woman who works actually in the justice system, came up to me and said, do you have any board openings? I said, yeah, sure, maybe. She told me that she had stayed as a youth at our shelter more than once. Wow. So I think that's tremendous. Just completely turned that person's life around to the point that they want to contribute back.
Definitely, the full life circle, literally, on that
Yes.
part.
That is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Phil Kabler. He's CDS, the CEO of CDS Family and Behavioral Services, Health Services. And going back to the tour, first of all, thank you so much for the tour, for taking your time.
Thank you for visiting.
Thank you to Cindy, Belinda, Mr. Lee, and all of the other staff members that I don't now recall their names, including the guy that you said that his food is so good when he's cooking.
Mr. Ken.
Yeah, Mr. Ken. So all of them, they were very kind. All of you guys, very, make us feel at home. And one of the questions that I actually asked Mr. Lee that has something to do with the story you just shared is like, I asked Mr. Lee, sometimes they made me feel good. I mean, taking the tour, being the energy, the vibe inside, the guy that takes care of the evening time when people are sleeping. So I was thinking, imagine if I am a kid that I cry at home because I feel that I am in the wrong place. I don't feel comfortable, the dysfunctional environment, and I have to go back to that, right? After being restored, okay, or my emotion is reestablished from you guys, I will feel sad again, And that's why I remember Cindy saying that, hey, if you need to come back, you can come back. And that's a beautiful thing. So sometimes a couple months, not even 1 month or 5 months is enough, all right, to restore yourself emotionally from this trauma that has been going on for years. So, Phil, how many times, like a person, a kid, can go back to the shelter?
As many times as they need to. But
For how long?
Well, our program is 35 days.
Okay.
One of the things that works is that, and we're going to talk about more than just the shelter, because that's just one of our programs, but while they're there, the youth are getting behavioral management counseling one-on-one, in groups of the kids there. You couldn't tape it, but you saw a group of kids that were in a group counseling session and with their families. But when they leave, we have other programs. We have the Family Action Program, which is a community-based counseling program where our counselor, case managers will meet youth in our office, at their home, in the schools, wherever it may be, to continue the sort of dialogue, the restorative dialogue, and teaching them coping skills, behavioral management skills. So it's not just taking them from the shelter, taking them out of a problem situation, into the shelter, and then tossing them right back out. We're working with the family so that the communications go along. This is an interesting story, a sad one, but it shows, I guess, how good our folks do. I was at our Lake City shelter, and it was a tour for community members, and they brought out 2 older teens who were there, resident at that place, and they asked them what did they like. 3 things. It was one male, one female. They said, the first thing they said is, we like the attention that the counselors, the youth care workers give us. They take them seriously. They take the kids seriously. The food, and this one was really quite upsetting to me, is they said, we can sleep here. Imagine how bad life has to be. Wow. You can't sleep at home, but living in a shelter, you can sleep peacefully. Wow. But we're trying to make it that everything can be restored with the family so they can go home. They learn how to communicate with each other. That's what our SNAP program I mentioned, that's the youngest kids, 6 to 11. At the earliest phase, they teach families, children and families how to communicate with each other.
And I love how you guys have the program kind of like with follow-ups, because as you just mentioned, there is nothing we can do on 35 days, and then just leave the person and go on their own. That follow-up is very important for everything that the person, especially in young age, is learning, trying to cope with, to understand, to integrate in the family.
2 things to know is our programs are all voluntary. the parents, guardians have got to approve a child being involved with him. The second thing is we don't charge for the services. When they stay, they eat, etc., the counseling, we don't charge for that. Of course, we fundraise in the private community for that, but we don't charge the families.
Bill, when it comes to the funding, for all the projects and for the new shelter and all that, are you being affected by all the the federal funds being cut, or are you stay fund? What's the situation right now for CDS?
We are funded by state funds, the Department of Juvenile Justice. We are funded indirectly by federal funds through the Department of Children and Families, to Lutheran Family Services, to us. And then we also get a federal HHS Administration for Children and Families contract grant. So I think that we would be careless, and people like Elio board members would say, why aren't you paying attention, is we are constantly monitoring what is going to happen with the federal funds we receive. And we've got some plans that we hope we never have to use in place should some of our funding get cut.
Yeah.
So you have your plan B already, established in case something happens.
Plan C.
Plan C and D and E. I was going to say.
You're a lawyer,
No.
But let me ask you about this.
Once a lawyer.
Once a lawyer, always a lawyer.
But I'm a bass player too, so
right. Let me ask you, Phil, because you actually been an attorney for many friends that we have in common. Over 20 plus years as a lawyer. Always you were the president of the bar of the 8th
35 years.
35 years. Okay.
1985.
So what made you, right? What made you
40 years.
40 years. Wow. So what made you become the CEO of this nonprofit organization? What inspired you? What motivated you? What moved you?
Well, I don't want to make this about me because it's about the kids in the program, but long story short is myself and my wife got into this because when we lived in Miami, we volunteered at Camilla's house. We worked in the kitchen and we got really involved over time with certain social services. After Hurricane Andrew invited us to leave Miami, and we came to Gainesville, and we continued to stay involved. I got a job myself through the Department of Juvenile Justice, and actually managed my own contract back then. It used to be called Corner Drugstore. Some old timers will remember that. But I left then to go back to being a lawyer, and I practiced, but I was always our volunteer lawyer. And for 11 years, I was a board member. And then when my predecessor, Mr. Pierce, retired, they asked me to apply. And I was, I have to think about it. I'm a partner at a law firm, Bogan, Munz & Munz, at that point, a business lawyer. And I was a professor at UF in the business school. They asked again, and I figured, all right, I'm going to try to do some good. So that's how I got involved. But I've been involved with CDS for 30 years. Everybody has to get interviewed, okay? And I got interviewed, and one of the people said, why are you doing a 180 from being a lawyer to this? And actually, my wife had mentioned the perfect thing. She said, hey, you're going home. Where you started off, you're going home. So I said, I'm not doing a 180, I'm doing a 360. So enough about me. I've just been involved one way or the other for 30 years. And I started in 2022. But we have people, some of the people you met, now let's talk about them, have been involved with the organization for decades.
Like
Cindy has been involved for 25 years.
Belinda is one of the bilingual members, by the way. They have bilingual services. If you only speak Spanish, solo hablas español, ahí también te pueden atender. And actually, we have a question from the audience. Someone that is texting through the app is asking a question to Mr. Phil. How can people access your programs and services?
Okay, there's any number of ways, and it's also how people can refer each other. If a kid's in a school, they can always ask a counselor, social worker, but the easiest way is, of course, our website and our Facebook. We have social media too. Facebook, Instagram, Threads. I posted this morning because it's Safe Place Week, and we have something special going on tomorrow, 2 things going on tomorrow, but they can always call us. They can, at 352-2 352-244-0628. 352-244-0628. That's kind of the front door telephone number. And, of course, our website, www.cdsfl.org. And you can connect as well through our social media.
And the same person, thank you so much for the question, is asking a follow-up question. Said, how can the public support your mission?
Any number of ways. We take volunteers at the shelter, for example, mentoring kids, reading, working with them. We also we have mentors in our other volunteers at our other programs and mentors. We have interns. We, in fact, as I said, can have, when I'm talking about our programs, I'm talking about more than just the shelters. Folks, we have 3 shelters. We operate in 11 counties, 3 judicial circuits, and we have about between 100 and 110 employees. So there's a lot going on. And I'd be remiss to say we have on our social media, on our website, a donate here button. So we can always use that.
Yes.
Or people can just call the number if they have ideas of what they want to do to support us, or if they have donations they want to make, 352-244-0628, and ask for me. I'll probably be speaking on English, but I'll do the best I can do.
Definitely. And one of the most important ways that I find is awareness. Like people for example, to share that information that you just mentioned with your neighbors, with your family, with your friends. You never know who needs help. There is a lot of things going on out there, people going through depression, people in their houses, they needing to restore their own emotional wellness. There is so many things that I think awareness is crucial because, for example, if the public, the leaders, you mentioned the state, the federal money that you guys get, the funds, if they are aware of what's going on and the impact that you guys are making, and then they will continue that support. That's one of the most, because some people are like, well, but I don't have money to donate, but you can support in other ways, and by the way, going back to that, when you said mentoring kids, how that looks like mentoring a kid. Let's say I want to start mentoring a kid. What should I do?
A person come to the shelter, and if they have an expertise in an area, broadcast media, you could sit with a group and talk to them about it and tell them how you got into it and what it takes to do it as a career, for example. And I know you do other things too. Musically, you could bring your drums, your instruments, and you could show them and maybe let them do it. So it's just some one-on-one contact or group contact with the kids. Now, I want to make sure about one thing is we are a behavioral health services organization, not a mental health. So if someone comes with a severe mental health disease or syndrome or situation, again, we'll get them to the right place that can help them.
That's awesome.
La verdad que sí.
Well, it comes into us, we screen youth. We do suicide screenings, as you would imagine. It's an issue. And if they score into having a high risk, it's not something that we are going to do per se with them, but we will get them to the right place.
Wow.
Phil, and I'm guessing that you guys work together with DCF, right? The Department of Children and Family. If there is someone that comes to the shelter and you guys feel that you have to involve that organization or that entity, you guys do it as well for a checkup? Okay.
And back to what Ilya said, we have really long relationships. Tomorrow, March 20th, is our 55th anniversary. So we've been doing this a very long time. Our work has changed a little over time from all adults to all juveniles and families. But we have relationships, state, federal, local, private, individuals, organizations. And I think one of our superpowers is developing and maintaining relationships because ours are genuine. If someone helps us and we find we can help them, we do it in verse. Yeah.
Well, I have some news for you, but before I share this to you, actually, en vísperas del 55 aniversario, regarding your anniversary, the 55th anniversary of CDS, let's talk about what's happening tomorrow with Miapa Latin Cafe, and then I am going to share the news with you. How about that? What is happening with Miapa? There is a lot of excitement. There is something going on. Miapa is also supporting the organization. What is going on with that tomorrow?
We have a great relationship with Miapa and the folks there. Actually, our people from our SNAP people, our SNAP program has their own Facebook page and is always putting on Miapa coffee cups and everything because they're always shopping there. And like you, I've been friends with the owners of Miapa for decades. And so they are doing for us just a fundraiser, a spirit day. If you go on our social media page, maybe Elio's, there's a ticket that says for the event tomorrow, just you have to print it, go into any Miapa, any of them, when they're open all morning until they close, give it to them, and they're going to contribute back some to us.
Oh,
so
okay.
They're wonderful people, known them forever.
That's awesome. Well, now
so
you
for
know.
any person that gets something from Miapa, they're gonna get some.
They have to bring a ticket.
A ticket,
And
okay.
then Miapa's going to donate back to
you.
us.
And that
Okay.
ticket can be like digital or it has to be printed out.
I think it has to be printed
Has to be printed out,
yeah.
ok. Bueno, ya sabes, si printeas este ticket, lo traes a Miapa, puedes obtener, bueno, literalmente estás ya apoyando a la organización porque dinero de esas ventas van a regresar a la organización.
Correcto. Now we have to find a matching donor. For
Exactly.
everything that Miapa's donating, we gotta get a match.
We gotta match it. Exactly.
You know, we've had a really good time of it lately, is that we just had Miapa. We have Miapa tomorrow. Medici Pizza was before that for a week during Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Kendra Scott Jewelry before that. And in our annual celebration and meeting, we had like 15, 20 underwriters at that event. So
Nice. Okay.
Well, in the news that I want to share with you, Phil, and I'm very excited that you are here, obviously live with us. And I want to share because we are about to wrap up the segment. I know you have your meeting and all of that. Because of the impact that you guys are making, I was very excited to see the shelter because I was chatting with Maffer and Esther and all las chicas que when that was just a piece of wood, like the structure, like literally in dust. We were walking, and
actually, you were there when it was dirt.
Yeah, the groundbreaking, like that's exciting. And seeing actually the kids, like we saw some of them, it's very special, It's like you can say it's not like somebody told me. No, I saw it. And I saw the people, I saw the environment. Well, because of that, because obviously Gil and myself, we are two representing our Latino community as well,
Gil's a board member also.
Yes, so we are proud of board members of your organization, of CDS organization. So your organization is being selected to be the recipient of the donations by Tu Fiesta Radio Festival 2025. So in other words, every year we choose an organization to give back to the community. And this year is going to be CDS.
Está bien.
Gracias.
You were good enough last year to just let us have a booth.
Well, this year we're not gonna let you have a booth. We're gonna have you on the big LED screens, but we're also gonna give money back to you so you guys can keep funding this year is going to be the very first year that we're going to be charging per tickets, selling tickets in other words, and having a beautiful VIP area. It's going to be at the sport complex at Celebration Point. This is exclusive for you guys, and that's gonna give us some room, some tools to actually raise money. And we've been thinking about how can we make an impact and give back to the community, obviously. And obviously, I mean, not other organization came to mind better than CDS for everything that you guys are doing for our community, for our youth, and for me, for Gil, we were super excited. So I wanted to share the news with you.
That couldn't be better.
Great choice.
But I will tell you, if Willie Chirino comes back and he needs someone to play bass for him, Just call me. You've seen all the ones I have.
That's awesome.
I'll give back.
All right.
Different ways of giving back, right?
Qué maravilla, señoras y señores. Y así mismo en el Festival Tu Fiesta Radio 2025, en este mes de noviembre, 1 de noviembre, estamos de verdad muy emocionados de alguna manera poder contribuir a CDS, esta organización que, en resumen, para traducir un poquito, le da albergue, le da refugio a niños, familias, sobre todo niños y jóvenes que a veces están perdidos dentro de su propio ambiente, están viviendo en un ambiente disfuncional. Familias que están pasando por crisis de una manera o de otra. Para no entrar en detalle, el hecho es que ellos le dan ese refugio. Y bueno, Maffer hizo una pregunta muy importante que vamos a traducirla rapidito, que lo que le preguntó Maffer a Phil es que, por ejemplo, si algún niño se siente que no puede regresar a ese ambiente del cual salió, y por eso tuvo que contactarlos a ellos, si ellos trabajan con Children and Family, que es niños y familias, el departamento de niños y familias en los Estados Unidos. Y bueno, Phil respondió que sí, que ellos llevan mucho tiempo trabajando en colaboración con ellos, y eso es tan importante porque ese departamento de niños y familias lo que hace es que proteger, obviamente, a que pues no se cometan injusticias, los niños no sean abusados, los niños no sean explotados de ninguna manera. O sea, de ninguna manera, para no mencionar una específica, que esos niños tengan una niñez como se merecen. Y realmente fue lo que Edianel y yo estuvimos por allá y percibimos en el tour que tuvimos en el shelter de refugio.
Y el departamento de niños y familias es interesante porque sí, como ha fallado a muchas familias, a muchos niños, que es una realidad, también ha salvado.
Sí, también ha salvado, exactamente. O sea, lo cortés no quita lo valiente, y por alguien que quizás en ese momento no actuó de la mejor manera. No se hizo un buen reporte, etcétera. No podemos decir tampoco, ¿verdad? Que el departamento no sirve o no funciona, ¿no? Porque también a muchas personas les ha ayudado.
Incluso les compartimos aquí hace como 2 semanas un caso que yo estaba siguiendo, que les dije, estos trabajadores de UF que tenían a los hijos en cage, que después también nos enteramos que el mismo González había sido uno de los que había respondido, y todo se supo de eso por el departamento de niños y de familia, ya que una maestra lo expresó como tal, y esa persona pudo ayudar a esos niños que estaban en esa condición.
Exactamente, así que es muy importante toda esta información. Once again, Phil, we're very excited to have you here. Thank you for what you do. Saying congratulations, happy 55th anniversary. And we are looking forward to our continued support to CDS and to CNA. Hopefully we can go back again with everybody here at the station
anytime you want
to have another tour. Maybe we don't even have to film, but just to share, with you guys and experience, so they can also experience what we did on Monday. It was on Monday.
If you have a portable studio, you saw the big conference room, you could always do a show there.
Definitely.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. And now we have the kids. And we have the amazing gift now coming up. That is another way that you can give back. The amazing gift is going to be April 24th.
That's right.
That's right, correct.
And I taped something for them last week. They did the live streams.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, because now this year they are doing like little segments every week. So I am glad you already went there. So Phil, thank you so much, and happy Safe Place Week.
That's right.
Thank you, Phil. We look forward to continue learning about the organization and supporting and seeing the impact that you guys are making around.
Our folks do the best they can, and our folks are the best at what they do.
So, that's awesome. Very nice, very nice. Así que, mi gente, estuvimos conversando con el director de esta organización sin fines de lucro, muy, muy impactante, la verdad. Mientras más conoces acerca de la organización, más quieres conocer y más quieres ver. Y ya les digo, de una manera u otra, a veces uno conoce una organización y como que te atrapa, te entrega. Cuando tú ves la misión, ves a los niños. Me pasó algo bien bonito, que un muchachito de los lunes me reconoció de una de las escuelas que yo fui a tocar.
Ay, qué belleza.
Y me movió mucho eso, porque tú sabes, como que mira qué nice que ellos están ayudando allá a muchachitos que a veces tú ves tanta gente, cientos de gente, y no te das cuenta. Y me saludó, le di la mano y le dice, oye, qué bueno, good to see you.
Qué belleza.
Eso fue un momento bien bonito. Así que por eso es que hacemos un llamado a apoyar a estas organizaciones. Obviamente, usted decide a quién quiere apoyar, pero apoye, haga algo, ¿verdad?
Así es.
Siempre tenemos maneras, herramientas y vías para hacerlo. No necesariamente tiene que siempre pensar usted en el dinero. Vea, ellos necesitan voluntarios, necesitan muchas otras cosas. Así que ahí se lo dejamos de tarea para la casa.
Para que se pongan a pensar a ver
Ahí
qué
está,
vamos a poder hacer.
para que se
con
pongan
eso.
para lo suyo. Señoras
Yes.
y señores, gracias por la sintonía, el cariño y la preferencia.
Nos vemos mañana, jueves.
Nos vemos mañana. Y estate alerta que tenemos un contenido bien divertido que vamos a estar grabando hoy a la 1 de la tarde en un lugar de campeones olímpicos.
Que no se nos atraviese nadie por ahí.
Oye, estamos que cortamos, ya verás porque. Quédate con nosotros si no te pierdes nada de la programación del show
De la mañana.
En Gainesville, Florida, la casa de los latinos. Tu Fiesta Radio. Tu Fiesta Radio, celebrando nuestra música. La casa de los latinos. En Gainesville, Florida, 95.7. Tu Fiesta Radio.
Mira lo que les he hecho a mi camioneta. Esto es tu culpa.
Yo estaba primero saliendo y usted me chocó a mí.
No.
Fuiste tú.
Yo voy a llamar ahora mismo a Jeffrey Melton, mi abogado.
Jeffrey, mi esposo, llámalo.
Meldon Law habla Jeffrey.
Una mujer loca aquí. Me acaba de tocar la camioneta.
Jeffrey, honey.
¿Un cliente nuevo? Sí, pero un poco complicado.
Saludos mis hermanos latinos, soy Gilberto Santa Rosa y los invito a sintonizar Tu Fiesta
Hola,
Radio.
¿qué tal? It's your girl Becky G. Los quiero mucho.
Soy Camilo. Tú sabes cómo va, te habla Nicky Jam.
Hola, soy Shakira.
Dímelo. Raúl Alejandro. Nosotros somos el grupo Manana.
Soy Melina León, sintoniza en Tu Fiesta Radio.
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Yo soy Juanes.
Somos Flor de Tabaco y los invitamos a sintonizar Tu Fiesta Radio.
La variedad 24/7.
Tu Fiesta Radio, celebrando nuestra música. La casa de los latinos. En Gainesville, Florida, 95.7. Tu Fiesta Radio.
We're the Martin family, and we've been members of Campus USA since 1998.
It's very important to have a personal relationship with anyone you're doing business with. They don't try to guide you in another direction when they know who you are and what you're trying to do.
I think they give a lot of people a chance that other financial institutions would not.
Everyone, helps you. Make sure you have what you need, exactly what you want, and the way that you want it.
I don't feel like a customer at campus. I feel like I'm a member of the family.